Zurich Film Festival. Conversations that celebrate cinema. 'Cause life is better with movies.
Today we're in for a beautiful hour here together with a very talented actress that I'm sure most of us adore very much. She balances major studio projects with daring indies and critically acclaimed comedies, just like the movie that she brought here to Zurich with, Splitzville, that premiered at the festival last night. Beyond acting, she co-founded her own production company, TeaTime Pictures. I'm looking forward to talk about that and much more. We all know her from great films such as Suspiria, The Peanut Butter Falcon, Cha-Cha Real Smooth. Any 50 Shades of Grey fans in here? Yeah, all right. Give her a warm welcome. Here's Dakota Johnson. Hi, Dakota. Please take a seat. Here's your microphone.
Hello.
Thank you for taking the time. I said that you're a little bit under the weather, so we appreciate it the more that you took the time to come out here.
I'm happy to be here. Swiss medicine is amazing.
Yeah, we wish you get to hopefully experience a little bit of the beauty our city has to offer a little bit later on. But thank you so much for taking time to be with us here today. It's been really fun to watch. Of course, I've seen a few of your films prior to knowing that I have the pleasure of interviewing you, but I saw a few more in the meantime, and I was really excited about all the different genres and the great films that you've been able to put together over the years. Also, congratulations on winning the Golden Eye Award last night.
Thank you. Thank you.
But let's start with your childhood, which we
Oh,
all know. Let's start. What hour were you born?
249.
2:49 a.m.
I'm really into astrology, so I know my whole birth chart.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about it?
No.
Okay. Well, what we do know is that, of course, Melanie Griffith is your mother, Don Johnson, your father, Tippi Hedren, your grandmother, and then, of course, also Antonio Banderas is a father figure in your life. Tell us a bit about how it was growing up, and of course also how that shaped your future, what was to come.
Well, I was basically born on set. I was born in Austin, Texas, because my dad was filming a movie there. And then I think 6 days later, he wrapped and we moved somewhere else, and someone else was. So I just kind of grew up on set. And I grew up around filmmakers. I grew up around really creative people. And I always was so fascinated. I was so in awe of how movies were made and the magic that people carried with them. And I was always watching from the sidelines, and I couldn't wait to be a part of it myself. And when my mom married Antonio, I was 6 years old, and so we moved to Spain, and so I have family in Spain, and then Antonio made Evita in Budapest, and so we lived there for 8 months or something, and so my life has been really such a gift and so extraordinary. Of course, it comes with the fact that I never really went to a real school until I was 10. Like, I didn't really have a lot of friends consistently growing up, but it made me a very sort of malleable and embracive person, embracive of people of all kinds and cultures of all kinds.
And when we reflect on that time, was it kind of acting that that you drew towards in the beginning, or was there other elements of the filmmaking process at an early age that fascinated you?
I think it was mostly acting early on. I was always watching my mom get ready and trying on her shoes and her shoes and her jewelry and things, and I just loved watching her prepare to work, and then I loved watching her work, and it seemed like it felt so good, even if she was doing difficult scene. I wasn't really allowed to watch those, obviously, but if I don't know, I just loved the focus and the artistry of acting. So at first it was that, and then as I developed my own relationship with this industry and with filmmaking, I sort of have veered in a path of um, more of a holistic way of making films by producing and working closely with writers and directors.
And I can't wait to get to that as well with TeaTime Pictures and many of the other projects that you have also coming up. One final question on the childhood part is your parents did try to protect you from getting into the business too soon. You did have that first role, Crazy in Alabama, I think, at the age of 10.
Yes.
But that was just so kind of a one-off. And then it was not until a little bit later with The Social Network when you were 20. Did you feel as a teenager like, I want to get to this faster? Or did you understand that your parents were protecting you?
I mean, I didn't have a choice. It was
Right.
like a hard no. Um, and yes, when I was a teenager, I did want to work. I also, my mom's agents were always trying to send things to me. So I remember when I was 16, I read the script for Juno, and I was like, "Oh my God, please, can I audition?" And they wouldn't let me, which is totally fine because obviously Elliot Page was amazing in that film, and that's perfect. But I, I craved working. And I also was told that if I didn't go to college, my father said that I would be off the payroll. And so I said, okay. And I didn't go to college. I started working and I started supporting myself. And then I think I booked The Social Network when I was 19 and we filmed when I was 20.
And in those earlier years as an actress, you built your own career. You kind of worked it step by step with also some smaller roles as any actor actress would. But was it very beneficial to have kind of the name in the family, or was it also hard because you wanted to also make your own path?
It was hard because I think there's this obvious feeling of, oh, you think you can do this just because your parents do it. So it was tough. People were tough on me, and casting directors especially were like, okay, get out of here.
It's not always an easy business, especially that earlier stage of it all. But then, of course, the day came when you auditioned for 50 Shades of Grey. Tell us a bit about that whole auditioning process and how wild that time was and how you must have felt when you got that call or that confirmation with that role.
Yeah, that was the whole thing is so bananas. But I was so young. I was 23 when I was auditioning, and I auditioned. My audition piece was a monologue from Persona, and I was like, "Oh, they're really going to make this movie very like intense and good, and um, sort of veer to the more auteur version." Um, and I loved that. And then the script at the time was written by Patrick Marber, who's one of my favorite screenwriters. And it just seemed like, wow, this is going to be, I was learning, I hadn't seen 9.5 weeks before I had auditioned for the film, but I was given all these comps to sort of learn about what we were going to be making. And I was like, oh wow, okay, this is like very intense. And then a lot of things happened, and I think I know some of them, and I think I don't know a lot of them, and it became a very different project. But it was still Sam Taylor Johnson directing the first one, and I really trusted her, and we were sort of in it together. And originally, Charlie Hunnam was set to play my what's it called? Co-star? Partner.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work out, and then Jamie Dornan came on, who's amazing and lovely, and it all, I think, ended up as it's supposed to be. But it was a very wild experience, and I was so young. And then I remember the day that it was announced that I was cast. I saw my name on CNN, like I was watching the news, and on the bottom of it, it said like 50 Shades of Grey cast, and then my name, and I was just like, excuse me? What?
Breaking news.
Yeah, it was truly like on the banner on the bottom, it was breaking news and my name on the news and on CNN. And I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. I don't know. Even growing up in a family that was quite famous at times, for my own self, it was jarring. And then, the rest happened.
Is history. Yeah, I mean, it was a phenomenon. I mean, more than $1 billion at the box office. The whole trilogy obviously catapulted you to stardom. Talking about being so young and being in the business, and yes, you have had seen a lot through your parents, but going through it yourself is something completely different. How did you stay grounded? Were there moments where you're like, "Ooh, this is getting all a bit crazy"? Did you have good friends, or did your parents help you, or how did you stay grounded? You seem very grounded until today, so but there must have been different
Thanks.
phases.
um, I, I think I've been so inside of this industry that I've seen the bullshit so up close that I just don't buy into it. And I don't believe I'm above anyone. I don't believe that what we do making movies is saving the world. I do think it reaches people's hearts, which is what I care about the most. But I don't know. I guess yes, I grew up with amazing people around me. I had friends' parents that were, I was exposed to so many different things. It's not like I was raised in a little bubble of privilege. I also dealt with a lot of private family matters that were really intense and a lot for a child, and adult subject matter that like a kid probably shouldn't deal with, like addiction and things. And I think it makes you, or it made me be um, uh, just knowing that life comes in waves and is up and down, and the more you can be true to yourself and the more you can really take care of people around you and allow yourself to be taken care of, I think the more
Here.
grounded you can be. That's my cue to stop talking about my personal life.
At least you didn't lose it along the way. Um, it's hard sometimes, especially when you're part of such a franchise and it's kind of like that kickstart to not get typecast. And we know many, many actors and actresses end up getting typecast, and for some it works, right? But it's always nice to see actors and actresses who have such a wide range in their kind of repertoire of films that they've done. So in those years after, was it? I mean, you made yourself such a name, but were interesting projects coming your way, and it was easy to pick those interesting ones that you ended up doing, or was there a lot of trash coming your way as well? I don't know. I mean, how easy was it to kind of to take the path that you took after this phenomenon?
Not easy. I think after something like that, people expect a certain performance or a certain person, and I'm just not interested in that. I think there's so many facets of myself, of my soul, that I want to explore through my work that, I just, like I think I was filming 50 Shades and Scott Cooper asked if we could meet about Black Mass. And that was something that I was like, yeah, of course I would play Johnny Depp's wife in a movie, even though I was like way too young. But I did it anyway. Um, I, yes, the answer is yes. There were, weird projects coming towards me, but then also I just really wanted to stay true to myself.
Speaking of Black Mass, from what I understand, Johnny was friends with your dad, Don. So I think you met him ahead of time in your childhood. Yeah, what memories do you have of those days? And B, when shooting Black Mass, did you take away anything exciting from working with Johnny? And I mean, just watching that film, I love that film. I rewatched it. I know it's a smaller role, but those scenes are so intense. And I'll just ask you three questions at once. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, how was it working with Johnny? And tell us about the intensity of that shoot and those scenes.
I mean, watching an actor like Johnny work is so uh, electrifying. He's so talented, and I've had a few experiences in my life, in my career, where I'm working across someone that I'm just you're just like, what? This is crazy, and you're so talented. Um, so it was inspiring, and also working with Scott Cooper. He's an incredible director, and uh, I felt like I was, lucky to be involved in a movie like that.
And I assume the better your counterpart, maybe also the better you raise, or the more you raise your own bar. At least that's how I feel when I play tennis. But I assume in acting it's something similar as well. Let's talk about some of the other great films. I watched about 7, 8 films, and I had so much fun doing so. One I watched twice.
Wait, what did you say? 7 or 8 films a night?
No, in the last 4. No.
Oh,
That's not.
You watched
humanly
7 or
possible.
8 of
In
my
the last,
films?
yeah, in the last
Okay, I was
14
like,
days.
what?
No, yeah, no, I'm not. I don't sleep. Suspiria, I had to watch twice.
Mhm.
Number one, because it was intense, and I'm not necessarily a big horror person, but I love the film, psychological and all that. Tell us about preparing for that role. I think it kind of took you to some dark places in preparing for that mentally and physically. Could you share a bit about that?
Yeah, so Suspiria was the second movie I made with Luca Guadagnino. And we started talking about Suspiria while we were finishing filming A Bigger Splash. And I started to do a sort of deep dive into this world, obviously into Dario Argento's world, but the way Luca and I were talking about it for a very long time. Luca, Tilda, and I talking about it for a very long time, and I was training for like 4 months before we were filming, dancing, and I danced growing up, so it was really fun for me. I did hurt myself so much. Like I tore my labrum in my hip. I like hurt my back and had to go to the hospital in the middle of filming. It was wild, but I just loved it, that process so much. And working with Damien Jallet, who is the choreographer of the film, he he does like dance counts as 1 and 2 and 3, not like 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's very confusing. And then Tom York was doing the score of the film, and he was sitting in on our rehearsals. And Radiohead is my favorite band in the world. So this whole experience was just like blowing my mind. And then when we were filming the movie, we were filming in a town called Varese, which is north of Milan in Italy, and it's like this abandoned hotel at the top of a mountain, and on top of the hotel was all of these electrical towers. So everyone was shocking each other all day, and you'd have to go and wash your hands to like get the electricity out of your body. And I was doing dream work, uh, like, kind of Stella Adler dream work, where you ask your dreams to give you information about your character. And I started to have like excruciating nightmares and night terrors, and I wasn't sleeping. And then the abandoned hotel, surely it was haunted, surely. And like all the demons were attached to me, and it just felt it felt very, I'm being very dramatic. It wasn't really like this. But I got home and I felt like I needed like an exorcism. I didn't get one. I didn't really need one. But I'm an actress, so I'm allowed to be dramatic.
Our takeaways: do not study Stella Adler. No, I'm kidding. Peanut Butter Falcon, another just heartwarming story, and just must have been as heartwarming creating it as it is for us watching it. How's it working with Zach, and of course also Shia, and also, I mean, in generic terms as well, I mean, that chemistry that the three of you have, and I assume that you go on projects where sometimes you have zero lead time to meet with people and prep and rehearse, and sometimes you have more. We'll get to Splitzville later, but like, tell us how it was with the Peanut Butter Falcon and working with those two and the rest.
Yeah, that was like the best time of my life. If somebody said to me today, you have to go back to that moment, and I would go back in a second. I loved making that movie so much, and I was so in love with those two people and who they were to each other. The relationship between Zach and Shia was really incredible to witness. Obviously, Shia is a very complicated person, and Zach is an angel on earth. And the two of them bonding in the way they did just like exploded my heart. It was absolutely magical. And we did everything together. We'd have breakfast together. We'd go to work together. We would have dinner. We'd watch movies. We would watch wrestling because Zach loved wrestling. We just like were always together, and it was so fun. And a lot of times when I'm on set, it's very isolating. Some actors like don't want to hang out or talk to you.
Who doesn't want to hang out with you?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not a shit talker. But that's just some people's process. You know, they don't want to, like, they're so in it, whatever. But it was just such a beautiful time, and the story was beautiful, and I just felt like everyone's hearts were kind of bursting open, and it was incredible to witness.
If you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. Zach has Down syndrome and, plays some character with Down syndrome, and it's so fascinating to watch. Let's talk a bit about Tea Time. You touched on it in the very beginning, and I know it's dear to your heart to, tell fresh stories, or give a chance to original stories, and kind of champion fresh new ideas. And you started this project with, from what I heard, one of your best friends, or your best friend, Ro Donnelly. Tell us about how this partnership came about, and what kind of the trajectory is that you guys are now taking.
So yes, Ro is my best friend. She's like my life partner. She's everything to me. And she and we were friends, and we had very similar taste in music. She was an exec at Netflix for 5 years, and movies. Did I say music? Did I?
An exec in Netflix music.
I meant movies.
Movies.
I'm here. I'm
Music,
fine.
yes, music.
We also have similar taste in music, though, which is good.
Radiohead.
She was an exec at Netflix, and we just started to sort of dream up this idea of like, what if there was a world where we could like in-house build our own way of making films? What if we could kind of reverse engineer the process and make it really wonderful and a good time and fulfilling, and make sure that everyone is kind and loving and embracive of each other and collaborative, and that's not always the case on movie sets. There's this idea of this hierarchy on sets that really like segregates people, and it's not great. It doesn't serve the process of making a movie, because you can't make a movie by yourself. You need so many people to make a decent film. So we started to build our company called TeaTime, and we now have like a staff of people, and we're developing so many things. We've made a bunch of movies, and we work with people that want to keep working with us and that we want to keep working with. So now we have a kind of collective of artists that, if we're like, okay, we're going to make this movie in the fall, then let's get this person, this person, this person, and they all want to do it. And so it's like I don't know, it's just become a really, really wonderful process of working, and different to my early years in this industry.
And it's up until recently, it was an all-female team as well, right? I think you hired now some.
It is an all-female team. We have one man working. He's gay. So
How
he's very feminine.
how is he holding up?
He's obsessed with us. He's in LA right now, and he's emailing. We're like, go to sleep.
Also, part of the reason I think why I assume you're fascinated and passionate about taking also more control of these projects is you said that just like you told us now with 50 Shades of Grey, and there was other movies too, like Madam Web, I think, where you kind of like, you sign up sign on to a project, read the script, and then go watch it in the theater or see it for the first time, and it's a completely different film.
Yeah, it happens. It's crazy.
And there's nothing much you can do about it, right? I mean, like, because once you sign,
Yeah.
sign, and there's no clause that says
No, there's nothing you can do unless you're a producer.
no.
And that's taken me so long to get to that place. But yeah, if I can't get into the edit or see an early cut or have a say on anything, I show up and I'm like, well, I guess this is it. Like, I can't do anything about it. And for a long time, and I think for a lot of, especially actresses, they don't take you seriously. They don't take your ideas seriously or your thoughts seriously. And like, I actually do feel like I know what will work. And a lot of the times I say it and then it doesn't, well, especially on things I'm not involved with. Well, mostly, always on things I'm not involved with. But yeah, it's a really wild experience. Like, can you imagine if a musician wrote an album and then sent it to the studio, or recorded an album, sent it to the studio, and then they released it with them having ever heard the final, like that, unbelievable. That would never happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's a wild industry.
I find it so wild too that my wife works in the industry too, and like, you know, I always thought like, okay, the script first, right? It's like, and I know very often that's the case, but then very often it's like, well, who's directing it, and how much did that film gross, and who's the lead, and you know, and it's like, oh, the script's not so important, you know. It's like I thought it's all about the content. So it's great that you're, of course, taking control there. I think you also have the desire to direct. You have directed a short called Loser Baby, which is a proof of concept about a queer story in LA, which premiered the short at TIFF, but has been also quite tough to get done, right? And you said in one of the interviews as well, it's like it's a topic that people are interested in. It's current. Tell us about some of those challenges, and tell us about. Are you going to make a feature out of it, or is it?
I mean, I'd love to. We really, our aim was for Loser Baby to be a TV show about a group of queer friends in Los Angeles. I mean, it could have been anywhere, but it was set in Los Angeles because that's where we were. And it's really funny, and it's very real, and it's very honest, and it is like a very underrepresented group of people, and it just wasn't something any of the streaming platforms were interested in. But anyone that has seen it is like, I would watch this. I don't get it. So it's very tough to try and make authentic stories. I mean, I'm not like whining or complaining.
No, but
I
it
have
is,
had the opportunity to work in this industry for a long time, and I'm so grateful. And I have been able to tell, you know, like Splitsville is a different kind of film, and Peanut Butter Falcon, like I've made movies I'm so proud of. I'm so proud of all of them, even if they suck.
No, but I think it's important for people to know. Yes, of course, you're blessed with a lot of things, but you work hard, and there's blood, sweat, and tears, and there's ups and downs, and things don't come easy in this industry, which is until today just a very tough industry. Let's talk about Splitsville. I had the pleasure, of course, of meeting Michael yesterday. Would have loved to meet Kyle and Adrian and everyone else who was involved in that hilariously funny film. Did anyone see Splitsville? Yeah, did you like it? It was such a good film, and at the opening night, the feedback was just like, "It's such a great film. It's such a laugh out loud." For us, just a perfect scenario, because you know, sometimes also we have a bit more darker films, and walking out of
Did
that.
people laugh last night?
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a
Oh,
lot of laugh out loud
great.
moments. Yeah.
Great.
Congratulations also for world premiering it at Cannes Film Festival, where there was like an 8-minute standing ovation and lots of laugh out loud moments. And it was your first Cannes Film Festival. Tell us about that wild ride.
That was crazy. Yeah, to be at Cannes for the first time, having produced a film I just never thought that would happen. And I also was totally shocked by the reaction of the audience. I was like, what's happening? Why are they laughing so much? It was just crazy. I did not, even walking into the theater, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, guys. But I guess, you know, people liked it. So that was really nice.
It's so good. It's so good.
And then we had a party That was the best party anyone's ever been to in their lives.
Give us a little hint why it was so good.
People were dancing on the tables. Jason Momoa was like spraying champagne on people. It was bananas. I don't know. I just sat there being like, what?
So if you can extend a little bit, Christian, can we put up a party like that? Maybe we need to now rival with the Cannes Film
Yeah.
Festival.
If you invite me back, I will make that happen for you.
That's there we go. Everyone will be dancing on the tables. Tell us about, so you met with Michael and Kyle, I think 1 year ahead of then shooting, and obviously came on board first with TeaTime, also ahead of Neon, so TeaTime was part of it from an early stage. Tell us about TeaTime's involvement in preparing, but also then during production, and I think you're also quite involved with post, with really being able to relay what happened and remembering also what happened, those beats on scene, and then going into the editing room. So tell us a bit about that whole process of Splitsville.
I met with Mike and Kyle, as you said, a year before, and then they kind of went away and developed it more, and I had a lot going on in that time anyway. I don't even remember what we did, but then they came back with this script that was so special and so funny. Their tone is so specific, and their brand of comedy is so special. That I was just like, oh, we have to make this. It's very on brand for TeaTime. It's like a wild subject, but it's poignant, it's heartfelt, and it's also just ridiculous, which is very us. And then with Adam Newport Barra being the DP, it just was like, oh, it'll also be like cinematically stunning. So we came on as producers, and then as the characters started to develop, I was like, yeah, I'll do that one, I think. And early on, I actually was like a year before looking at the role that Adria plays, the Ashley role, and then I switched, whatever, and then we filmed the movie and we shot it in Montreal. We shot it very quickly, and then in post, yeah, we are all hands on deck, all of us, especially Sam Racanelli, who's sitting here from my company. She was on set with me the whole time because Ro was having a baby. And that's the other thing about TeaTime. Like, we are a company of women who have families, who have partners, who have lives going on. So we're really working hard to keep jobs going for all of us and creating a world where we can also still have the other side of being a woman, which is like being pregnant, raising a baby. Ro also worked until she was like 8.5 months pregnant. Yeah. Which I was like, you should stop. And she's like, don't tell me what to do. And she came back like 2 weeks later. Yeah. It was so annoying. I'll be like, I'm taking 3 years off. But that is one of the amazing things about TeaTime is we are not going to compromise our lives for this job. We're going to expand the job to fit us into it as women.
Where can one apply for a job?
Truly, anytime, email Sam.
The world needs more TeaTimes for sure.
Or email Isaac, he's awake.
Poor Isaac. Oh my God, I just drifted off. Yeah, the shoot, Splitsville. It looked so funny. It was so absurd. There were so many crazy, funny scenes, and Michael was sharing a little bit about their fighting scene and how they shot that and how they choreographed that. What was for you kind of like, was there like a peak where you're like, oh my God, on set, this is getting crazy? Or was it all very, I know it's shot in 28 days, so it's really tight. But
My favorite day on set was when Nicholas Braun was there. He is one of my favorite people in the world. We've made like 5 or 6 movies together now. And he's like the funniest person. And watching him work was just the best. That was my favorite day on set. And also we were shooting in Montreal, which was beautiful. It was a beautiful time of year. It was like crispy outside and everything looked gorgeous. It was just lovely.
Yeah, it's a great film, and we're so honored that we were able to premiere it here at the Zurich Film Festival. Of course, it's about kind of broken relationships, the chaos of love, and also open marriage. And Michael's mentioning or open relationships. Michael's mentioning that he got inspired by some of his friends who, have an open relationship and say everything is great, it all works out great, and then half a year later they get divorced. Did you draw from any of those real life friends?
I mean, I feel like we're all aware that like it never works, right? I haven't heard any
I wouldn't
stories.
know. Yeah.
I don't really know like closely about that, but I can't think of any person I know that's like worked out for them. It's just like,
Well, the film
but
shows
also
what can happen.
monogamous marriage doesn't work out for a lot of people, so I don't know.
It's a,
I don't have the answers.
you brought your mom to the LA premiere. Was that a
I
nice
did.
evening? Did she have a good time? What did she say?
I think she did have a good time. Did she?
Yeah.
Did she like the movie? She laughed. That's
She
a
laughed.
positive.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, my family was there. Well, my siblings and my mom.
Nice.
Mhm.
Some fun facts about you is that you love to sleep. I mean, who doesn't? But you sleep for many hours. How many hours on a normal basis when you are at home?
Uh, like normal 9, 10. Is that crazy?
No, that's not too
It's like
crazy.
this
I thought it
is
was like 12.
the
No,
most interesting topic of my life
no.
now.
Right, everyone's
So
talking about it. But well, 10 is not that. But 12 on a regular basis is a good amount of sleep.
I did sleep almost 12 hours last night,
Okay, yeah. But you
but
didn't
I
feel
was
so well.
not well. I was not well.
Yeah. You sure you weren't dancing on any tables somewhere at a
I
party
think
that
so.
that we don't know about? No, I'm kidding. Another interesting fact about you is you love to cook.
Mhm.
Tell us a bit about that. What do you enjoy cooking?
Anything really. I really love like a fresh pasta, like a fresh tomato pasta, but steak. I love to grill. I love to bake. I
What do
don't
you
know.
bake?
Cookies.
Nice.
Cakes. I make a really crazy chocolate cake. It's very healthy, surprisingly.
We have
It's
some
like,
really, really yummy Swiss Christmas cookies.
okay.
Yeah. So
Where?
maybe we can. It's not
But you know
quite
what's
there yet, not quite
difficult? I'm allergic to gluten, so
Ah.
I have to. That's why I bake and make things myself because I can substitute things. But if you have any gluten-free cookies, I'll eat them.
We'll get you a recipe.
I'm
and
also
send
really
us
excited for the chocolate, obviously.
You haven't tried it? Oh yeah.
No,
No, maybe it's not the time.
no.
Try. Okay. We'll take some with you. I'm sure they'll give
I
it to
was
you.
given a lot of Toblerone, which is my favorite chocolate. So
One
thank
of our
you,
partners, so
Switzerland.
thank you for mentioning that. um, let's talk a little bit about the future. We've talked about wanting to direct or wanting to direct more. Cha-Cha-Cha Real Smooth is one of those films, by the way, probably, well, it's hard to say which one was your favorite, but it was one of my favorites out of all of them. You produced in it, you starred in it alongside Vanessa Burkhardt, who's on the spectrum. And there's probably more coming out of it. Tell us about how it was working with her and how that sparked potentially now developing a film with her script.
Yeah, so Vanessa played my daughter in Cha Cha, and she is one of the most extraordinary people, extraordinary minds I've ever met. She's hyper talented. She's an incredible writer, artist, musician. She can play every instrument. She sings. Like for my birthday, she has really specific taste in music. And even if she hates a song, like Ro loves Celine Dion more than anything. And for Ro's birthday, Vanessa recorded every single part and sang a Celine Dion song for her and then filmed it all and put it together like a music video where she's every band member. And it's brilliant and amazing. And she hates Celine Dion. but Ro, because Ro loves Celine Dion, it was like the best thing in the world. So, you know, making Cha Cha, that was Vanessa's first movie and her first time really having friends. She was 16 when we made the movie, and she had never had friends. And Ro and I just like adore her and treat her like a normal person. And, you know, sometimes people on the spectrum have different things they need to do to express their energy or their anxiety. And when you don't make it a weird thing, like she just felt more comfortable. And I just don't think that's weird at all. So when we finished the movie, Vanessa was really sort of anxious and concerned about what she was supposed to do with her life now. She was like, I don't know, what am I going to go back to the suburbs of New Jersey after like being on set every day and making a movie? So we started to work with her, writing her life story from as early as she could remember. So she started to write from when she was actually nonverbal as a 4-year-old. And it's incredible what she remembers and the detail and the honesty, the rawness, and she's so funny. She's so dry and it's amazing. So then we were like, this is actually an incredible movie. So we taught her how to use Final Draft, and we worked with her on writing a script about a young woman who is autistic, who struggles to connect with other autistic people and also with neurotypical people. She like really doesn't like being around other autistic people. She's like, "You're weird. Get away from me." So it's so funny, and so she wrote this incredible script, and I think we will be making this movie fairly soon.
Yeah, I was going to
Mhm.
ask you what stage it's in the whole process, but okay, soon. Sounds
Yeah.
great. I have one last question, and then I'd like to open up to the room. It's going to be a great opportunity for all of you if you have a burning question to ask Dakota. It doesn't happen very often, so give it a thought if you haven't already. There's another project that I think is fascinating that you might develop with Elaine May, who's 93 years old and hasn't done a feature, I think, since 1987. And how did that idea and project come about? And is that, and in what stage is that in?
Yeah. This movie, we've been trying to make it for like 12 years. And I think we might make it soon. I mean, we kind of have to. um, but it's very bizarre. It's called Crackpot. It's really funny and strange, and Elaine is going to direct it. And I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hear it not so easy with the insurance and all that kind of stuff. A lot of moving parts, but that would be so wonderful to shoot a movie with her and her directing a movie at the age of 93. Goes to show it's never too late for anything. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of hands up. We love to see that. Can someone help me with this? Do we have, oh, microphone over there. Okay, can someone help with, okay, we're gonna quickly cross over. Over there, wonderful.
So, first of all, I really love you and I'm a big fan. And my question is for young performers and actors, especially here in Switzerland, what would you say is more important, mastering technique or finding your unique voice?
Oh, definitely your unique voice, for sure. Technique will come, and it always evolves, I think. But your true self, absolutely, or you know, just whatever your specific tone is in your deepest heart, way more important than technique. Technique is boring.
Okay, more questions?
Hi,
Wonderful.
thank you so much for being here with us today. Really appreciate you. It kind of sounds like you followed your intuition from when you were like very young and knew that you wanted to be in movies and in the industry. My question to you is, was following this intuition hard or did it make it easy for you, especially in such a tough industry?
It's hard to follow your intuition, I think, in any way, because you always like I'm always second guessing myself. But I think when you exercise really following your heart and your gut, you almost know what the answer is. Like I feel like there's definitely been times where I've gone against my intuition and made decisions that, haven't panned out as I thought they would. But also I have probably learned so much from that. So it's not, I don't know. Yes, in an industry like this, especially with pressure, outside pressure of like, oh, I need to be a certain way or make a certain kind of impact or a certain kind of movie, whatever. Yes, of course, it can feel jarring or scary to follow my intuition, but I really do my best because that's, I think, what any of us can do. If we really just listen to our hearts, then we know the right thing.
Yeah, thank you for bringing the microphone to this side. Let's give someone a chance over here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I mean, it's clear that you have carved out your own identity and path as an actress. But maybe a banal question, is there any particular, let's say, character in your mom's or Antonio Banderas' movie, let's say, career that has always inspired you and you would like to replay? Because there is particular...
Thank you for asking that. I would always love to be Zorro. I've been waiting to be asked that question my whole life. Antonio has gotten to do some pretty amazing roles, I can't lie. Desperado? Are you kidding? But I mean, no, I actually haven't thought about any roles from Antonio's career seriously, but my mom's, I don't know. It's weird because she's my mom, you know? So if I think of a movie, there's like some sort of sexual element of it, and then that makes me feel weird.
Yeah, where's my yeah, maybe on the top there, or no, okay, that's great.
Hello, Dakota, thank you very much for being here and for your time. You told you began very young as an actress. You came from a line of actor in your family. And I just wanted to ask you, because you know so well this industry and acting as well, which advice would you give someone who became a little bit older, like, I don't know, 47 or so? Thank you very much.
Someone who's 47 who wants to start acting? Are you 47? Are you asking for a friend?
Thank you. I'm asking for myself. Thank you.
Yes, I gathered. I don't know. You seem like a lovely, charming person. So why not just try? You know, I feel like there's room for everyone in this industry. I don't believe in this ageist bullshit.
All right, one last question. We have time for one last question. Thank you.
Hi, Dakota. It's great to having you here today. I just would like to ask you how it was living in Spain, because I can imagine it's so different, you know, living in the States, in Texas, for example, than living in Spain. How it was that experience, please? Thank you.
I loved living in Spain. I mean, my little sister, Stella, was born in Spain. And it was so wonderful and fun. I learned Spanish. I mean, my Spanish is pretty horrible these days, but if I spend enough time in Spain, I'm pretty good. But I think I had a great time. I don't know, got to live in Spain for years.
Where in Spain did you live?
We lived in Marbella. Sometimes we lived in Madrid when Antonio was working there, but it was between Madrid, Marbella, and Malaga.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out. Dakota, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much
also,
for
when you're
having
not
me.
feeling so well, it means a lot to us. Everyone give it up for Dakota Johnson.
Thank you.